Welcome back to the class, everyone. We're currently in our final week of 3v3 up against our first opponent, Smash. This is actually someone we know. He's been a regular viewer multiple times, and he might even be attacking alongside us today. He hasn't started yet, but that's okay. But before we do actually look at our defenses, we did change a few things this time. Let's go ahead and check out our rosters overall. So he has 100 more relic levels than us. I guess you guys can't see that right now. I still need to fix that. But yeah, he has that advantage on us. Overall, I think we have him beat a little bit in mods. Yeah, well, I guess there's some pretty big margins here at the plus 25s, but he has 300 more 6-dot mods than us. So that's going to be impressive. And I think it's actually going to make a pretty big difference in fleet. And then we have him beat by small margins in a lot of their speed. So we have a speed on him. Omicrons, we have the same amount. However, they're in different places. It looks like we have Savage and he does not. And I think we have one of these other ones that he doesn't have as well because he has 3 on Malgus, which isn't doing too much right now. That's our rosters for the most part. Might even see one thing that I've changed that's really worth mentioning is the fact that I actually gave Savage his Omicron, put him up to Relic 5, and then I put this fun comp on defense. Really don't know what I'm expecting it to. This is mostly just for funsies, and our opponent has done pretty well in setting his defense. It's similar to ours. He has Darth Revan, Grievous, a raid team. I think we might be able to Vader that, honestly. I'm not sure how much of a problem L3 is going to be. Gas, which is actually a pretty big problem, as well as Lord Vader. And he has a lot of really good datacrons. I don't know if you guys saw that there on those light side teams, so you can see it here. He's pretty much got 25% turn meter on every team, so can't wait for that datacron set to begin. But in the meantime, let's see how we do. All right, so here we come with the battles. We're gonna have to start off with really the one that determines most of my fights now, which is Fennec as well as Bam. In here we have the Bamcron. Things go pretty well to start off with. They go right after Bam, which is actually preferred because now our Fennec, we don't have to worry too much about her, or we have an extra fail save in case she goes down. So important thing here, I was thinking like, all right, do we have enough damage to just one-shot Maul, or do we have to armor shred him? And I saw that we had offense down. So I'm like, okay, let's offense down. We have built up like no offense from tenacity yet by this point. We're not going to be able to kill him. So we just go with the armor shred, and that actually lets us kill Maul while he still has defense up. So pretty important there. I think we played that correctly. It is going to be a little hard to get through Royal Guard. One thing that I've noticed with the cooldown level 6 with Lord Vader, that's actually kind of a pain in the butt. When the Royal Guard is applying like speed down or stuns or whatever, he's also reducing his cooldowns of his special, and he can essentially just loop defense up and health up. It's very annoying. So we're eventually able to get armor shred on him. There's very few Royal Guards that I can get through without any armor shred, so with him keep getting his buffs on, we just go ahead and give him 4. And I'm like, all right, let's see if we can one-shot him from here and see where that goes. And finally, 4 stacks of armor shred, enough tenacity up, we were able to kill him. So now it's just a question of whether we can get down Lord Vader. Armor shred is still on cooldown, so it's pretty much just going to take a minute, and we're going to be very reliant on Lord Vader using his big hits over there on Bam, just to see how much of a difference that actually makes. And he does kind of keep doing it. I don't know if that's because my Bam is very low health, so the AI drifts over there or what, but Lord Vader keeps getting his ults. He's building up quite a bit of damage now. But now with 4 stacks of armor shred, he's not going to be looking so hot. We're going to be able to get him down pretty easily. And we do. We get him down for 67. And that, it's not the whole match, but that really determines so many fights nowadays. So the raid really was not threatening. Raid doesn't have a datacron right now. There's no Hoda here. There was nothing stopping from armor from getting her 2 stacks onto C. So we just went ahead and took this. This is a very easy counter. Especially, it lets me leave or lets me save my Watt for other things. And this raid was actually modded for full damage. I believe she did have an offense hit as well as 3 offensive primaries. So, and she's R8, which, you know, it's higher than our R7C. And as you're about to see here, the dude tanks pretty darn well. Doesn't even get down to half health. Armor's tech giving C 10% more health on top of all of his like Galactic Legend stuff is honestly just very impressive. So we're able to do that, and I do make sure to not have Haldo linked initially. That way I can relink them here. Not only can I steal more protection by doing this, but it also gives me an opportunity to get back to my full protection because I get 2 turns where the Beskar gets to kick in. So now, as you guys saw, we have even more protection than we do in our previous one. I don't even think Ray got us down to 75% health, and now we're going to be able to steal more. We do just get rid of Haldo, and now it's just pretty much basic auto. As long as we get the shotgun Ray, there's just nothing she can do. And then Ray herself isn't producing enough damage to really get anywhere with our Beskar stack. So again, choose ult, not even close to going out of the green. We probably don't get full banners here just because she is stripping away a decent amount of protection with her basic there, but ultimately it's not enough for her to win. So, you know, I'll take the good banners. So now we're going to go ahead and use our Vader against Darth Revan. This is my typical Vader counter. You don't need a Datacron to do this. We've done this a ton without Datacrons. And in fact, the Datacron, typically I would cull here. We use the coin blade. We just basic Darth Revan. He just dies. So I'm like, okay, so that kind of defeats the purpose of this whole thing. Because now I can't loop because I don't have 3 opponents did with debuffs. So I'm like, okay, let's see what we need to do here. I'm like, I think we can just probably kill Marauder. And I also want to bring Malik down low so that Malik will waste his Drain Force on Crew, because Crew's currently taunting. So we did that. It worked out great. And we were able to Force Crush on their Marauder. I'm like, all right, let's just get rid of him. I don't want to have to deal with 2 characters at once. And then from there, this is stupid easy. Not only do we have the cooldown decrease a Datacron on our Vader, but between Thrawn and Crew's 2-turn stun, Malik is never getting another turn. Which is exactly what happens. Crew actually gets the kill, so good for him. Good 57 there. Gonna go ahead and take in our Jedi Revan versus his Grievous, just because like we're doing really well on our battles. We can spare just one more team. This is a little unfortunate though, because B2 took a little while to get out of his whatchamacallit, so we weren't able to mark him immediately. We didn't get triggered by our AoE for some reason, which I guess bad RNG on our part or good RNG. I don't know. Either way, their B2 does go down, and now we have to get through Magna. We're not going to be able to get back to another direct focus before he's dead, so we just go ahead and take him out. He go ahead and burns his stun, which does nothing, and now, we're probably not going to get back to full banners here. I think, actually, we have a pretty good chance of getting back to full banners on Jolie, but we have to call him to assist. And I think we actually do. We actually do get him full protection there, so very good for us. This is the highlight for me. I have been wanting a reliable, and I don't know if this is that reliable, but it's starting to really look like that, a reliable counter to gas that isn't even cheap, but maybe just of equal value. And it looks like this counter is it. And I like this because I'm putting Starkiller Savage on defense right now, and I'm also putting all of Sith Empire with Malgus. So these, awkwardly enough, these are very good characters, but these are essentially leftovers for me for now. And gas has been such a problem for me. I've tried to look into counters for him, and right now it looks like Galactic Legends or like Wampa has like a 40% win rate. It's not ideal. And this, maybe we got good RNG here, but I'm really kind of hoping we didn't, and this is just the natural course of this battle. Full 57. And again, not a super cheap counter, but at the same time, felt like equal value. I hate using a Galactic Legend on gas, and we've had to do it so many times just for the sake of a one-shot. So we did that. We have to go beat Malgus now. The comp is not good, but honestly, with Malgus's current Datacron, the comp can be garbage, and you're probably still going to call it a Galactic Legend. So that's what we did. Just go ahead and took in our Night Sisters, and this is fine. SLKR is going to end with full protection, so fun banner stuff. Just keep reducing his mastery. You don't have the problem with timeouts here, because different from some of the other matches with SLKR is you can actually reduce the mastery of the enemy, whereas Galactic Legends you can't against them. I don't even hit ult just because I didn't want to have to go through the animation, because I knew he was just going to die. So solid 55 there. We go ahead and take in our Wampa now against Iden. Got to the back wall. Honestly, overall the teams don't seem too threatening. We do have to be a little careful, because we've actually been slacking quite hard on a lot of people's B teams recently, and we've been getting punished for by losing. So I'm going to take Wampa here. He does really stinking well. This is not the hardest comp. Typically, a really, really tanky Stormtrooper in there would probably be more difficult. But we killed it in 45 seconds, so pretty cool there. Next up, we have a Galactic Legend left over, which I don't typically like. I feel like that means I organize things poorly, but we go ahead and take it against Dash. This isn't even like a full level 9 Datacron Dash. I think this is only like a level 8, which is a little sad for our opponent. Sorry, Smash. But yeah, what do you expect here? We do try to not kill him too quickly, so that way Shock T can get banners back on the last 2 characters. Probably doesn't matter, but we'll go for it. And now, yeah, we have to use Bad Batch versus CLS. I believe they had the turn meter cron, and so did we. I'm like, all right, let's see if we can get lucky here. And I think we misplayed this a little bit. Their CLS had a little bit too much tenacity. 3 chances for exposes. We didn't get a single one. We should have just gone for Nubak. Really, the problem is CLS's unique Zeta that gives them, I think it's like 100% more tenacity or something. So even Bad Batch has a lot of potency, but evidently not enough. So almost kind of get screwed there. Luckily, we're able to loop back around with Echo, and I'm just like, all right, let's just Let's just go for Nubaka. Let's leave CLS alone. Once we get Nubaka out of here and his stats are gone, we'll take care of CLS. So, actually do get an expose there, but he's able to heal it, so that's not super fortunate for us. CLS does have repost now, but he's not countering that much at a turn when we're in stealth, so that is very nice. Probably could have killed 3PO to try to get better banners, but kind of whatever. So he's got BAM up top, and the BAM's okay. He's got good relic levels and whatnot. The modding isn't superb, but whatever. So we go ahead and take in our not Galactic Legends, our Geonosians and Moff Gideon. It's a pretty solid counter. It scares me a little bit just because my characters are typically under relic. Like that team is R5, R8. I think it actually might even have the level 9 Datacron for BAM, but it's like boosted damage from tenacity or something. It's not something very good. That being said, yeah, this just does get a little annoying. We didn't get a very good shot in on BAM before, and then we got stuck behind the taunt. And I keep wanting to use Armor Shred, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it can be dodged, so we just don't apply it. I might be wrong about that, actually, now that I think about that. But it takes us a while to finally get over back to BAM, and I'm like, all right, he doesn't have any debuffs, he doesn't have Armor Shred. I want to make sure we kill him, and we finally do get back around here. This does take a little bit because Spy had shock on and whatnot, but luckily we triggered his birds when he only had 8, and I'm like, all right, we just need a one-shot him with Spy, like, just get rid of him, and we do, like, 300,000 damage or something like that. So he's dead now. Now it's just a question of time before how long it takes us to kill Queel. Having the Armor Shred does help because we can't actually crit Queel, so if we were able to get that out, that would definitely reduce the amount of time on things. I wanted to get him with the AoE there, but we didn't quite get it. Keep on cleansing, and now at this point we could just probably press auto. I think I actually don't press auto just because we're not applying any debuffs, and because we're not applying any debuffs, that means that we actually have a shot at getting full protection back. I've tried to do this with Soldier before, and Soldier constantly applies Tenacity down, and then that Tenacity down gets turned into dots on our own team, and I can just never get back to full protection. But with this comp, I think we can. So we got a 57 there. That was very good. They have a Hux team. This is the Omicron pilot there, so he is to be feared a little bit. That being said, Padme just really has Hux's number. Every single character on that team, I think, will attack at a turn via Hux lead, and then there's other ways that they do it too. It just gives us so much protection up, and I think we even get like really good protection banners here. I've definitely been enjoying Hux on offense. He's actually been very, very nice there. Soga missed, which that was disappointing, but also expected. But we do get Hux out now, and now it's just a question of getting First Order Stormtrooper, which we do quite nicely. Another 57. Just really good banners, honestly, and in a fight that I wasn't expecting to get it. So we have our Mon Mothma here to get rid of this Nute team. Didn't get really super great RNG in the beginning. We got some dodges that I didn't like. The stun didn't land. We didn't crit. Like, a bunch of things didn't happen the way we want to. But ultimately, once we kind of get going, we can just really just slash right through B1. There's not a lot that they can do against that. He'll go down quite easily. And then we just have to beat right now it's just a waiting game. They pretty much have no damage now. We have a significantly better turn meter than they do. It's going to be a question of getting both GBA and Brute, and then eventually Nute down. So, do our pretty best job at that. It does just take a while, just because this team doesn't really have a lot of offense. Most of what we've been counting on in this fight was just to shred through B1, because B1 you don't need offense. You just need a bunch of little hits, which is pretty much what we had. One of the things that is really helpful, it's going to happen here in a second, is promoting the Soldier over there, because once he's promoted and he starts giving everyone defense penetration, that does add up when you put it in conjunction with the sharing offense that Mon Mothma gives through her leadership. It makes a difference. As you can see, now the Geos are dead, and now it's a very simple, again, we could probably press auto here. One nice thing about the landing the dazes, you'll see here when Nute dies his first time, he actually doesn't come back with full % turn meter, because it's not a bonus turn, it's turn meter. So, kill him right there with daze attached. He doesn't get to do anything. He dodges, annoying, but whatever. And I'm trying to line this up so that we can get good banners, but it's honestly pretty hard. We're not exactly looping Nute. We're taking more turns than he is, sure. But he's still getting his occasional AoE off that also does just max health damage to everyone, which isn't super fun. And then we get the kill there. So 56, I'll take it every day. Now, this is where things get complicated. He has a bunch of teams up top that all had like the 25% turn meter cron. And I have teams that can typically beat them. But with that cron, I'm really just hosed. So we're taking our best to the Cam, and the Cam just dies right at the rip. So that's painful. This is really cool. We go in, we immediately shred Qui-Gon Jinn. Great, fantastic. We then kill Mace before Qui-Gon Jinn gets his bonus turn. and then he hits the foresight, and we just win. So absolutely fantastic there. I really like that Omicron. I've heard several people recently call it junk, the first order type of Omicron. It's done a lot for me this last 3v3. All right, then we have to deal with this stupid team. This one ticked me off a lot, honestly. The Fin Po team. Typically, this team is not that big of a pain in the butt. This one only had like 314 speed, not that fast. Had a bunch of teams that could have gone before and just taken it out, but they kept gating a bunch of turn meter in the beginning. I'm like, all right, I don't even know if I'm going to clear this, so let's go ahead and clear the bad team that's down below, and then we'll just keep throwing crap at that until we can get it down. Pretty big mistake here. We annihilated Nest instead of Jango. Definitely should have done Jango, and this is the reason why. Not only can he ignore taunt like Nest can, but on top of that, he can also prevent revives. So that's really bad for us. So we eventually do get Jango. I mean, Jango doesn't have enough offense to beat 2 relic characters with the amount of defensive potential that we have through boss lead. He got a nice kill on Mando because Mando's gear 12 and honestly pretty squishy even outside of gear 12. But yeah, he will not prevail against the gates of Bosk here. So we'll eventually get him down sooner or later. Maybe Bosk's bonus damage against the weakest enemy is actually coming in handy here. I don't know. 54, whatever. I'll take it. So I'm like, all right, what do we have in the tank to actually burn this down? So let's try Kira Nest Watt. Yeah, so I keep trying to kill Resistance Hero Finn, and he just keeps not wanting to die. And the Datacron they have on here has Health Steal too, which is very annoying, as you can probably see. We're trying to get back to full health because they're doing enough damage where if they get 2 big hits back to back, we're pretty much just dead in the water, which is more or less what happens there. Now, I almost feels like we're doing less damage to Finn. I bet it's the Inspired that adds defense or something like that. Because we got him like down to half health on our last big hit, and the next one, we don't even get him past full health. So I'm like, okay, I don't like this. This is not fun. Yeah, Nest is doing some damage, but she's also like getting stunned and can't counter. And again, we go for the big hit, like, do no damage there. I guess it's probably we didn't crit, so that is probably part of it, but still, like, come on. Yeah, just not doing anything. And they have a handful of buffs that they're trading around that we should be able to use for crit damage. And finally, I'm just like, okay, if this isn't gonna work, let's at least kill Finn, because then they have no leadership when they come back, which is exactly what we do. We kill Finn. I'm like, all right, so even if Nest dies now, this fight will be a lot easier to manage because they're not gonna have all the stats that Finn gives them, as well as just, it's one less character to deal with. But I would love to just kill them, but gosh darn it, I'm just not doing any damage to Resistance Hero Finn, and yeah, we die. So, but again, should be easier now. So, taking Triumphant, they're gear 12. The issue is here too, the brothers, they do max health damage. I think it's via pose inspired, and max health damage does not mix well with Traya. They have a bunch of health. Nihilus can get like Oblivion. And then this happens and we lose and pretty much for nothing. Good old flat out 0 there. So gonna go ahead and take in our next team now. At this point, I'm just kind of throwing crap out there, hoping something sticks. And luckily, this stuck. So cool. I'll take it. Good job, Talon Dooku. Or Dooku Talon, not sure. Coming into fleets now, we do have to beat our pretty typical lineups here. Go ahead and use our Separatists against the Empire in the beginning. Very simple run. We kill TIE Bomber before anyone even comes in. It's really easy to do unless you get really bad RNG with the Vulture assists. Then we're, immediately able to take out the other bomber, calling the mass assist on the shuttle. I mean, they just drop like flies. Separatist just has Empire's number every single time. I think, again, the only time I think I've lost is when they got 7 dodges from TIE Fighter Pilot, which is annoying. So now we're going to go ahead and take out Executor. We're going to go ahead and use our burner trick here. We go ahead and take in our Bad Rebels. I actually like these a lot for the burner now. I think this is my new burner team, at least before I get Profundity, which is probably going to happen in 2 months or something like that. They come in. They actually waste all their attacks perfectly. Perfect turn meter. We're able to come in with our Rebels now and hopefully just execute a really good plan. So come in, use our AoE just to do a little bit of damage there to Xanadu Blood. And then we just start countering him. And again, 2 turns in a row, we get 0 assists. And that's pretty much game right there. We had 50% chance to assist. We get 2 chances at it, and it doesn't happen, and now we're just kind of host. So I'm like, all right, let's just cut our losses here. Let's take in the Ghost. Let's use an AoE. Let's kill Xanadu Blood, and maybe clean this up with something else. So that's pretty much what we're trying to do now. Should have probably started going after Slave 1. Just because, I don't know, we would have lost taunt and then we wouldn't have gotten to him anyways. Yeah, but they get things super fast here. This is really the second we didn't get through Xanadu Blood beforehand. That kind of screwed everything up because it screwed up my reinforcement order just to be able to get the kill on him. And yeah, here we are. This is just going to be a loss. And that's, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, we can't really, casting doesn't do much because they have the permanent block or whatever. Cleared my buff immunity from Wedge, which is annoying. At this point, I really just kind of hope the Death Star just blows me up. Like, just put Han out of his misery there. Just let him have it. Does take a second, though, to actually get them down here. And there's the Death Star. So, pretty easy cleanup for my opponent. Got one ship down. I do think we come in to try it later to see if we can get the rest of that down. But first, we're going to go ahead and take Finalizer versus Radis. A little bit of an easier fight, but I want to make sure that I can at least, if I have to choose, I can at least get one fleet down so we don't end up with our pants down here. But yeah, so first order, very simple. I mean, you can get really garbage RNG here with the foresight, but for the most part, I think we have only lost this once, and it was also just really bad RNG. Silencer eventually just build up enough damage that everyone just starts getting one shot, which is what starts to happen right about now. Keep targeting him. Getting hit to hit the hunted characters. Keep giving him turn meter specifically. Have to hit the foresight there, which isn't fun. Falcon didn't do too much damage. Again, trying to get as much turn meter back to Silencer as possible. Just start one-shotting them. And yeah, just not even reinforcements. Just calling in Silencer constantly. Now, that was a little bit annoying. They were able to bring in Lando. But again, yep, just everyone just keeps going down. Lando gets his turns, kills my tank. Kind of a bummer. I call the assist there to clear out the foresight, and then of course Silencer just starts wrecking people again. And now it's really only Lando's Falcon, and what are they gonna do? So we end up winning the match actually really handily. Our opponent, he was actually attacking at the same time as us. So shout out to you, Smash. Great guy. I know you've been watching our streams for a long time, so you're not a stranger here. But yeah, he came in, and really I think the two most important battles that didn't go his way was he used Jedi Master Luke versus Jedi Master Kenobi. And I'm blanking now. I think did he try Fennec? I don't think he tried Fennec, because I don't think he had the Bamacron. He tried something here, it didn't work. And really, once those two teams were done, that was pretty much the match for him. Because with the amount of other stuff that we had here and up top, the full clear was essentially out of the question from that moment in time. And then I think he just started testing some stuff. Like, I know he told me to use Giant Luke against Savage, but he didn't have a lot left. I don't think he failed anything up top because he had decided just to commit to that to see. Because he didn't know at that point if we were going to be able to get the full clear or not either. Which we did not. We got stuck in Executor, but you already saw that. So, a win here. I'll take it. Pretty darn cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, stay awesome.